What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Leonard Lucas III, and we thank you for watching another great episode of Because Podcast. I'm with my great host,
Josh Lucas, man. What's good with you guys?
And we got another great episode that we're getting ready to show to you today. But before we do that, like always, we need you to click, comment, and subscribe. So go right now on our page, press that red button, subscribe right now so that you can get more great information about our channel. So without further ado, let's get started with our video in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Leonard Lucas III. I'm here with my great host,
Josh Lucas, man.
Hey, man, we got a lot of great stuff that we're getting ready to talk to you today. We're going to be talking a lot about the NFL, man, because we're halfway through the season. We got a lot of great stuff to talk to you today. We're going to start first with the Saints because the Saints is our home team. Josh, I want to kind of talk to you a little bit today, a little bit about what you've been seeing in the NFL from the Saints, not only going in the future with the schedule, but if you look at this playoff list right now, when you see it, the Saints right now have been set up to be the number 2 seed. You've got the Green Bay Packers. You got Seattle Seahawks. You got, of course, San Francisco is number 1. You got Dallas Cowboys in the division. They're 4-3. When you look at all these different things, which team do you think have the capability, if we see the Saints see them in the divisional playoffs, to give the Saints the most run for their money?
Let's start off first and foremost by saying that the Saints are unstoppable, baby. 7-1, 5-0 since Drew Brees departed with the apparent thumb injury, man. Teddy Bridgewater definitely showed that he's the truth. Michael Thomas proved to you that he is worth every penny of that $20 million. The team that I would pick that will probably give the Saints a run for money, but will definitely still lose, is the Green Bay Packers. You talk about a team that has a great offensive team. Aaron Rodgers, come on, man, that's the best quarterback in the league right now, regardless of who you put him against. I really appreciate how this defense is coming together now. I've never seen Aaron Rodgers with a great defense behind him, so you know that can be a cause for disasters for other teams, man. I still see the Saints coming out on top, even if we have a chance to play those guys. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go with the Green Bay Packers, man. Great, solid team, good looking defense. The run game is impeccable, man. I'm loving it, man. Just on the defensive side, though, man. Aaron Rodgers will always remain Aaron Rodgers, but this defense is looking serious for the Green Bay Packers.
I like what you said with that. And a lot of people have been saying that, especially a lot of TV that I've been watching. A lot of people have been talking about the Green Bay Packers and said they're actually the team that has the best edge to beat the Saints. You know, a lot of people are biting the Kool-Aid, drinking the Kool-Aid when you talk about San Francisco. But when I look at San Francisco, have they played the level of talent or competition that is playoff football? When you look at some of the teams that Frisco have played, they haven't really played that much talent. They're going to be facing some talent when you got the Seahawks. They're going to play the Saints. So now you get to see they're getting ready to play some of the top 10 teams in the NFC, in the NFL. So when you look at that, I can't really go with Frisco. Because when you look at Frisco, even though you got Matt Breida, you've got Jimmy Garoppolo, you got those guys that's playing really well. But when you look at the season, the NFL gave them that season because they played really, really horrible for the last 3 years. So they gave them a real free season to kind of get things together. And that's what we're seeing. But I think that when we get to the last part of the season, these couple of games that's getting ready to come up, I really don't see that they can really beat the Saints. And they're going to be seeing the Saints in a couple of more weeks. And I think the Saints are going to really beat them because I don't think they're capable of knowing how to win. This is their first year. They're getting lucky. Teams don't really know their system on how to defeat their system, so they're kind of guessing on how to defeat them. And I think that when teams get ready to see them on tape and get ready to see them for who they are, like they said the Bears and who we thought they were, I think when they play the Saints are going to think who they think San Francisco is and beat them.
Yeah, man, I can't agree anymore, man. I feel like 49ers are also a team that you need to watch. Great defense, amazing defense. Nick Bosa, I'm putting it out there now. Not only is he the rookie player of the year defensively, but he has to be considered maybe the NFL's defensive player of the year this year. He is showing you why he was worth that first round pick. I think that Garoppolo definitely is a franchise quarterback. I see him with a winning season, but I don't see them overcoming any challenges that the Saints had to overcome by playing opponents with great defenses.
Yeah.
Opponents that have outstanding offenses.
Yeah.
The first 8 games for the 49ers are fairly easy.
Yeah, Browns.
The last 8, you got to deal with the Ravens. You have the Seahawks coming out, which is a divisional game, so you have to see them twice. You have to play the Cardinals again, even though they beat the Cardinals not too long ago. The Cardinals still is a division team, so
yeah, definitely.
You have a certain type of determination to beat a team if you have to play them twice in a year.
Right.
49ers, like I said, is a good team. 49ers, I do see them making the playoffs. I honestly see the 49ers maybe making it to the NFC Championship to play in New Orleans, but I don't see anybody beating this New Orleans team, man.
Okay. I want to kind of go into a different direction. Let's stay here when we're looking at San Francisco. Now, they have, of course, November 11th on ESPN, which is Monday night. They're playing the Seahawks. They're playing Seahawks at home. They're playing the Cardinals at home. They're playing the Packers at home. So these are 3 games. Seahawks is going to possibly be a playoff contender. The Packers are a playoff contender. When you look at the Seahawks, Cardinals, Packers, and Ravens, then the Saints, these next 5 games, how many games do you think they'll be able to win? Just look at the schedule.
Let's see. Out of the last 8 games that they have, I see the 49ers winning, I'll say 4.
So 4 for 4.
Yeah, 4-4. I think that they'll beat the Cardinals again. I feel like they'll beat the Falcons. I do see them beating the Rams, but that's going to be up for a toss. And I see them possibly beating the Seahawks, splitting that series with them 1-1. So 4-4 for the latter part of the 49ers. Still a great team. 12-4 is still a great record. Don't get me wrong. I do see a lot of success coming forward for the future years for that team. But most complete team, 53-man roster, straight up and down. The starters are great. The backups are great. You got to go with the Saints, man. You got to go with the Saints. Which makes me go to my question, man.
Okay.
How do you feel about Michael Thomas, man, really? I mean, before we talked about how Michael Thomas was, considered maybe a $20 million player, but, come to find out, man, Mike Thomas seems like he's worth way more than $20 million, bro.
Definitely. We kind of talked about this before. I think it's episode 2 or 3. You can definitely check that right now on YouTube. We talked about this, and I had a different understanding in the beginning of the season than I did today. I didn't know how much a dog that Michael Thomas was. When you look at a guy, you really don't understand the caliber of what a guy can do until you really get on, watch some tape, and really check out what he's doing. He's leading right now 875 yards, right? And the next guy under him is about 90 yards under him. He's averaging about 12 yards to carry, 4 touchdowns right now through the season. He's positioned right now to be the all-time leading receiver in yards in a single season. So when you look at that, when you go through a situation like that and you get to understand and you look at that and get to understand what type of guy that is, the type of caliber that is, yeah, I think he's worth more than $20 million.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't pay a guy like that over $20 million. But when you look at what he's done for the team, not only has he's leading in receiving yards, but he did it with a second-string guy, a guy that he did not have any rapport with, because we know Teddy Bridgewater played on the second string.
Very true.
So he did not have any rapport with. To come to week 3 and week 4, he gets with Teddy. He tells Teddy, "Listen, let's create a system where we can come together. You can make those chances with me. Trust me that I'm going to carry the ball and carry the team and get the ball into my hands. I'm going to carry the team and going to make good decisions with the ball." So when you look at a guy like that, Michael Thomas, he's worth more than $20 million, because this is not Breeze throwing to him. This is Teddy, and nothing against Teddy, but understanding that it takes a lot for a receiver to the first string guy, Drew Brees, who you've been with for 3 years, created a repertoire, and then go back and switch with Teddy and still ball out and be the leading leader in receptions, in yards. That tells you something about this guy. This guy has a lot of grit, and he's the best. He's the best receiver right now in the NFL. Nobody can debate that.
I mean, the name speaks for itself, man, on Twitter, bro. You can't guard Mike, man, honestly. Like I said before, man, Michael Thomas is, was, and always will be one of the greatest receivers in this league for a number of years, man. I can run numbers all day, man, but numbers that you need to know that sticks out, man. Michael Thomas right now as a Saint for his career, his win-loss total, Michael Thomas is 38-17 as a Saint. That speaks volumes, man. Michael Thomas needs to be considered in this up-and-coming MVP race, man. Like, it's crazy how you can compare Michael Thomas to Marvin Harrison's receptions record. And, you know, Marvin Harrison had Peyton Manning, and they went off that year, man. Marvin Harrison had a great year with Peyton Manning. And, you know, you see Michael Thomas, who had to deal with 2 quarterbacks in one season and didn't fall off or fell short at all. Michael Thomas is proving to you why he is our franchise player. Michael Thomas will be the face of the Saints eventually. Of course, we have Drew Brees right now. I give Drew Brees about maybe 2, maybe 3 seasons. But after that, man, is always going to be Michael Thomas.
I definitely want to talk to you about that because now we got to get to somewhere. What does Teddy do? Now, I'm just going to go and I want to think as, I'm not Teddy Bridgewater, but if I want to think as Teddy, I've got you to the promised land. All you requested from me was to win 3-3. Maybe if we would have went 3-3, they were saying, because we didn't know if Drew Brees was going to come after the bye. He comes before the bye, right? So he wins 5-0. We expected him to go to 3-3. 2-4, we probably would have been happy. But he goes 5-0, and then now he sits back on the bench as that guy that took the team to the promised land, even though it's not my team, because it's not his team, it's Drew Brees' team. And Drew Brees has earned that right to be the captain because all of the things that he's done for the team. 5,000 passing yards, Super Bowl winning championships, NFC championships, division playoffs, all these things we've seen that Drew Brees did. He's the leading passer for his yards right now, surpassing over 75,000 yards. But if I'm Teddy, do I stay with the Saints this year or next year? Or do I go see my options? Maybe Mitchell Trubisky, Chicago, getting rid of. Would you do? I mean, that's a lot of money on the table to say.
First and foremost, I mean, if anybody that should be happy right now is Teddy Bridgewater's agent, man. Seriously. He's at a point now where you need to understand that Teddy Bridgewater may be racking up close to $20 to $30 million a year after this season, man. 5-0 as a starter, you can't ask for a better record. I'm gonna say over 74% completion rates. He had a great game versus Tampa with 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards. Yeah, man, he's showing you that he's not that time managing quarterback that you were accustomed to in the beginning. He's showing you that he's explosive still. He showed you that he could still make plays with his feet, which I am very flattered about, because they had a lot of plays where if I thought that Drew Brees was in the game and he was under pressure like Teddy Bridgewater in some of those plays, that he probably would either turned the ball over or got a sack. To be honest with you, man, as a fan of the Saints, man, I would hate to see Teddy go. I know that he won't get the maximum amount of money that he would expect to get as a free agent anywhere else.
That's true.
Just because we have Drew Brees, we have other players that we need to pay. But if I'm Teddy Bridgewater, man, the decision to stay in New Orleans is something that I'm sticking with. You have an organization that's shown you that we can win with you. You have an organization that's shown you that the fan base loves you, that we're sticking with you. I'm excited for the future. If we're talking about Teddy Bridgewater, man, I really do hope that he stay, but realistically, I think that he will go. No matter what, loyalty is great, but money, man, you talking about $20 million, bro. $30 million upwards, man. That's a lot of money, bro.
You know, loyalty is always the deciding factor. But in a league that is so unloyal, when you understand this, when you look at this, I can look at this two ways. Okay, there's a possibility now. Of course, we think he won't leave now because when you talk about the bargaining leverage, right? If he wins the Super Bowl with the Saints, now he has even more leverage to say, I played 5 games. I've got to either the NFC Championship
or the Super Bowl, and if we get a ring,
we get a ring. I have a ring. So now this is more even bargaining leverage because when we look at it, okay, Teddy's looking at it right now. We don't know what can happen in 2 years.
We never know, man. This seems like another situation with the Eagles that they had, man, and Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. You know, you have 2 great quarterbacks that you just got to make a decision on, man. And to be honest with you, man, I don't know. I know that Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer. I know that Drew Brees will go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But we have to understand that his time will come to an end. We don't know when, but we do know that it's soon.
Oh yeah.
So we need to make some moves. We need to make some decisions for our future. And if we could, we need to sign Teddy Bridgewater to a long-term deal. I'm not saying as the Saints organization to give this man upwards of $30 million a year because no one in their right mind is going to give a player $30 million to sit on the bench.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I mean, we have to make some decisions. We have to be realistic. But at the same time, we have to understand that this is a business. Teddy Bridgewater is a great quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater hopefully will lead the Saints to a Super Bowl for himself throughout the whole season. We'll see. One day. We never know. It's great to talk about, though, man. It's a great story, man. I've come to really create a true love for Teddy Bridgewater, man. He had a great story, man. He overcame a lot, man.
Absolutely. And I'm not gonna lie and be like I was Team Teddy from the beginning. I was not Team Teddy from the beginning. I thought the season was over, just like Stephen A. said. You know, at the beginning, I thought the season was over. Just from looking preseason, I didn't think Teddy was the guy to be able to do it. One of the things I think really helped with Teddy is that our coaching staff is so tremendous that they didn't require him to be Drew Brees. They didn't require him to do anything that he couldn't do inside of his game. So I think that made him comfortable just to be him and make the decisions. Of course, the first 3 games, we can't really say that it was all Teddy, but he did what he needed to do to get the job done.
Yeah, man.
The defense, you got to really credit the defense, Mario Davis. Cornerback play has really been exceptional.
Yeah, man.
Shout
out to Eli Apple, man.
Gardner Johnson, number
what
22.
A season, Eli, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Come from the Giants to get booed, man. And you out here balling, bro.
Yeah,
I give it to you, Eli.
Definitely.
But to be honest with you, man, we're talking about all this success throughout these different, realms of defense and offense, but we have to understand that the reason why we are so successful is because of our head coach.
Coach
Sean Payton, coach of the year, not even a question. If the season ended now, point blank, Sean Payton, win or lose, if we lose the rest of these games for the rest of the season, it doesn't matter. Sean Payton will be coach of the year. He's showing you his versatility. He's showing you that he is a great coach with or without a Hall of Fame quarterback leading the way. He's the best thing since Belichick, baby. Honestly.
Now we only got a couple minutes, 2 minutes. We're gonna close this out, but I want to go get into this Sean Payton thing. What makes him such a great coach? And everybody talks about he's an offensive guru. He's a great play caller. And I mean, is it because he used all of his weapons at his disposal, or
no? And you guys know what I'm grabbing at. Sean Payton has big kahunas, man. Big guts, man. He goes for those plays where he'll hit you right down the throat, man. He called a freaking onside kick in the Super Bowl, bro.
That's true.
Come on, man. Like, can I say any more? Sean Payton has guts. Sean Payton has plays that we still haven't seen yet. His versatility with just picking plays, his play action abilities, his game callings at different situations and times during the fourth quarter is amazing, man. The man called a freaking fullback option to a quarterback, bro. versus the Bears, man. Like you can't write that up, man. That's just all talent, man. Shout out to Sean Payton, man, Coach of the Year by far.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to continue the discussion on this. Catch us for part 2. It's going to be coming out real soon. What we want you to do, man, make sure that you listen to this definitely on Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can go right now, Because Podcast. Catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or you can watch us on YouTube and Instagram TV by clicking Because Podcast. Hashtag Because Nation. That's the letter B, 3CUZ, Nation. Make that hashtag all across the nation because we're doing big things. You want to get some of our merch, that's going to be a little link on the screen that you could definitely buy some of our merch. I got the head on now representing, so we definitely appreciate everybody that's watching. We got some more great stuff, man. It's still season 1. We haven't been on for quite a while, but we come back with some hits, some bangers, and we're going to definitely get you what you need with some great sports, a lot of great stuff about basketball and football. But we definitely thank you for watching this episode. We're going to come back with part 2 just in a little bit. We appreciate all the love, man. Y'all have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon.
Who that?